And today, after that news, the president tweeted that mail-in voting during this pandemic will make the November election the most fraudulent and inaccurate in history, even suggesting we delay the election. And first off, if you're wondering, the president cannot delay an election. Congress can, but they won't. A bipartisan response to the president's tweet confirmed that today. As for the mail-in question, I dialed up our Secretary of State today to get the lowdown on the security of absentee voting.
Have you seen any evidence of wide-scale or even small-scale voter fraud with the mail-in system?
No, I haven't.
That's Minnesota Secretary of State Steve Simon, whose office oversees statewide elections. He helped us understand how this whole mail-in process works. First, know this. There are 3 different types of states when it comes to ballots and the mail. Those that send ballots automatically to every registered voter, those that send them to any voter by request, and those that'll only send them to people with legit excuses to why you can't vote in person. Colorado started sending ballots by mail to every voter back in 2014. They fill it out, they mail it back. In 2016, the Secretary of State's office there found 48 possible cases of fraud out of 3 million votes. None of them had to do with stealing or changing someone else's ballot. This study showed that voter participation went up 9%, with Republicans and Democrats getting equal boosts in votes. This from our sister station in Denver.
We adopted the process gradually.
Republican Wayne Williams has run elections as El Paso County Clerk and overseen elections as Colorado Secretary of State. He supports mail-in ballots with the right process in place, like proper signature verification to combat the idea of voter fraud.
So that's Colorado. In Minnesota, mail-in ballots are requested using a person's social security number or driver's license number, and then has to be returned needing that same number, sort of like 2-factor authentication. And this is why Simon says the mail is safe.
So unless that mailbox thief or that post office thief knows the precise personal identifying information that the intended voter used, they can steal 100, 200, or 1,000 blank ballots if they want. They will never be counted, ever. They will be destroyed.
And how do you know your ballot isn't tampered with after sending it?
The good news is if you go to the website mnvotes.org, you can track your ballot just like you can a UPS package or any other kind of package. So you can know with certainty whether it has arrived and with certainty whether it has been processed or not.
If this option seems right for you, considering this whole pandemic thing, you can register for your ballot at mnvotes.org. Also, Simon says, which never gets old, all secretaries of state throughout the country now have the ability to cross-check and make sure that people don't vote in more than one state. So another level of security there.